Hi, welcome to my tube. My name is Marge, I'm a Hilk Empath, and I just like having these little talks on the way I feel about things. I'm a little congested. I've been bawling all day. I've been crying all day, just surrender and take the wheel, God, take the wheel, I don't got this. Speaking of, I just want to take a moment to invite God in the room today. And I want to do that in a different kind of way. There's a prayer that I used to read, circles of friends, you know, fellowship, like-minded, same freak tribe. I've been looking for mine my whole life. I got my California Republic shirt on today. Anyway, positive intentions, setting my positive intentions. So I'm gonna go ahead and just read it. In different worlds, it's called different things, and it's in Catholicism, it's the Saint Francis prayer. In other room places, it's the third step prayer. It just depends on who you hang out with and the clubs you run in. So, Lord, what? I'm just gonna read this, and this is how I'm gonna set the intention of this talk, because I really got to dial myself in, because it's been a hard, rough day for Marjo. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is inner injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. O divine master, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console. This is my third video today. To be understood as to understand. To be loved as to love. As for it is in giving all that we got, that we receive. See, and it's in pardoning that we are pardoned. Sorry for the snot, not for the emotion. and it's in dying that we are born to eternal life. So I died a little bit today. A little part of me died today. A part of that I don't need. See, I get caught up. I made notes. I should run in to grab the notes. I gotta pull myself together because Mom doesn't need to see me upset. I've been pulling myself together all day. Called. See, and then I was reminded I should have made the last call that I made first, and I didn't do it in the right order. And I was reminded it's today's Sunday, Marge. It's God today. Don't worry about stuff today. And I already worried about stuff. So, but there's stuff I wanted to talk about. I gotta run get my notes. Oftentimes I talk about how I have emotions, about how I pick up on other people's emotions, and I recognize that they aren't truly my emotions. And holy heck, that's why I never think I'm really super smart about. I think I know some stuff, but I never think I'm really super smart, because I'm always dumbfounded. I'm always like think of stuff and I'm like, so I don't know why people think I'm such a know-it-all. I talked to my brother today and he's like, you know, I mean, he wants me to do all this stuff that I don't like. Go back to the Midwest in the winter, you know. Well, that's where you got a place to. You got, you got to go live in the winter one more winter. I'm like, dude, that's why I moved. I can't live in the winters there, man. I can't do freaking single digits and shit. It's you. You don't. Other. It's stupid. And then he's like, get rid of a couple dogs. And I about freaking went into a freaking. I started freaking. I was just freaking. I'm like, do you know what post-traumatic stress is, man? He's like, yep, I sure do. And I just stepped. I was stuck in a loop. I got so upset. I was just like, and I just kept repeating myself. I couldn't even stop myself. And then I calmed down. And then he's like, listen to you! Get it together! You sound like a crazy person! And I'm just like, wow, you don't know how to talk to people, man! No more flowers, no more flowers, no, because I might have to move in a couple days, and I don't know where the fuck I'm going. I don't want to be here. Fucking don't, mom. And then today, after him, I talked to my father figure, and I was just like, man, I can't, is it me, or is this shit that he said to me weird? And then something happened, something I remember, because I remember taking soda to school and selling soda, and that's all I'm going to say about related to that story. But he said that none of that ever happened. That didn't happen. He tried to freaking straight up gaslight me today. Because I'm like, I know you got in trouble. Maybe the outcome wasn't the same, but I know that there was some trouble, and that your course of action got redirected, and now he's a freaking lawyer at the top of the California government. And I haven't had running water in 3 years. Isn't that weird? Alright, before I go on any freaking random tangents on conspiracies of my life, I'm just gonna get into my notes. Where was it? Persistent, Protestant, okay, I was listening to a talk by Nadia Shah this morning. I listen to her sometimes. I like what she has to say. I can't really handle what she does with her makeup. But but she's got good stuff to say, so I listen, I don't watch. I was just like, really? That's the color combos? You just went for it, huh? Good for you, girl. Anyway, I was listening to her this morning, and see, I started tracking the Pluto Saturn in Capricorn conjunction that's happening right now. That's going on soon now. We're feeling the energies from it. From 3 years ago, because that's when I became mom's caregiver. I got into astrology, and I just listened to astrology stuff, and I started tracking trends, and then the astrology would happen, and then big events would happen on these days, and then I was like, started going back in history and seeing, and I was like, holy cow, so I start, and then all the theories coming out with the truthers with all the stuff, because of all the DT, the president, has released a lot of documents, so, and it's given, okay, now you guys don't have much to do, so go research all the documents. So people are doing it, people like me, and then I live the experience of these things, see? All the stuff that people say, that doesn't happen. Yeah, I was raped when I was a 10-month-old, and, I've seen my mom beat up so many times, and her sexually, and doctors mutilate her, and doctors, with their unjustified, weird little stretchy things, and doing weird things, and people have been serving the wrong master for years and years. And so now we get a world based on what happens when people are trying to create chaos and destruction. And they won for a long time, but people, because of the... so the last time Pluto and Saturn... Go listen to her talk, but she reminded me of this stuff, so I'm going to go with her. The last time Pluto and Saturn were in Capricorn, and I believe I have Capricorn in my first and second house. And then I have Cancer in my seventh and eighth, or it's vice versa, because they both start with the C. I gotta go back and look. Excuse me, pardon me. I wasn't willing to swallow that. So the last time that this conjunction, it was like 500 years ago. It hasn't. We haven't. So our spirits are feeling energies that it recalls from 500 years ago, when we've lived at whatever incarnation, wherever our spirit was in that time stamp, in that time period. It remembers that. Oh shoot. Because 500 years before that, it remembers where it went. 500 years before that, it remembers this, so it's like, oh shoot. So everybody's spirits are like, oh shoot, are we living for God or Lucy Fairy? Go shoot, And what happened back then was when the Protestant, you can't build a web using my laptop, I'm taking it inside. The last time this happened was when the Protestant Reformation came about. And that's kind of what they did is they're like, okay, here's this God. But what they did is the evildoers branched off and then started saying, okay, serve us. And then like you got the cannibals and stuff, and they're, really perpetuated their, come and give us all your money, and then with the orphanages, and then creating means and stressful situations. So people have to give up their kids, and their moms and just give up their family. You know why the idea? I had myself so worked up. I called my father figure, and I was like, and then do you know what hit me? Marge, look up spiritual warfare. And then I was like, holy shit, I wonder if I'm under some sort... Because I just was like, oh, I'm having... I always just write stuff off. Even stuff like... But I know spiritual warfare exists. And I know that people just can attack you with their negative intentions. And that's what feel like I got today of is like, there's a lot of people mad at me for stuff. And it's not like I haven't been trying to clean up the wreckage. It's not like I haven't reached out, But all I keep reminded is how I used to act like years ago. I'm like, you don't even know me now, man. And I got a pretty good idea about who they are, because they're still doing the same shit that they did. Same stuff. Same jobs, bouncing back and forth. Same stuff. And it's just like, if people don't talk to me. And then I got to be, because people aren't calling me back. And I know everything is divine. That's the thing, is because I live in such a spiritual world. But it still don't frustrate me none left, because how else am I going to find spiritual beings? The God ones, not just to say, oh, we're for God, give me, But, oh, you can only have 2 dogs, and they have to be under freaking 12 pounds, and, all these, it's like, why can't people make allowances to get people into places? Because they made so many allowances just to keep us out. So right now what has happened, the Protestant Reformation, what's happening is people are finding their connection to God, and then they're finding the other people that have that same connection. The fence is like starting to fall down because they put freaking crap leaned up against. You don't lean shit against fences. Fences are not intended for that. Fences are to keep things in or out, and that's it. And they put a bunch of crap over there, and it knocked the fence over. And it's the nice labor lady's fence. She has this beautiful fence around her whole on both sides, And so I tried to like anchor it to a little tree that's growing, And it's like, I like your tree, but you're just a little volunteer that you probably, you invaded the, you should, and because it's not anchored, it wasn't made proper, and now that's with all the rain, it's like starting to slump over. So I took one of the poles that the city left and freaking stuck it in the ground and then tied it up. So the lady's fence, so I was talking with her today, and I went over on her side, and I was just like, she was reading a book. Something angel. Something about it was a new paperback. I got that because I looked at because I always look because I'm always collecting data on what people are. And I was like, "Do you believe in God?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, absolutely." I'm like, "Which one?" Like the ultimate, the highest, like Christian, or all these one of these other like nefarious ones that people are like. We are for your ultimate highest good. Praise God, Jesus. I'm a plastic human being. I really have no soul, but we have done so many marketing studies and demographics that I will just say what you want to hear to make you give us all your money so we can go buy yachts and traffic your children. So, I think it's cool that now people are coming into their own conception of God. Christian God, as the ones that I don't care what God people, I don't even really care, you know, I really don't if they're in the Lucy fairy tale, because everybody has their own incarnation. I'm sure that I've done the most dastardly things in my incarnation because we all do the same stuff. I just learned from the wreckage of my past, and I don't want to live that way anymore. I don't want to live in anger. I don't want to live in spite. I don't want to live in fury. See, because that's the thing. That is why the world got the way it is because so many fearful people made might right. Because they get mad, they get fearful, and people don't listen to reason, so then they just freaking explode. And then everyone's like, oh my God, she's crazy. I'm like, I've been asking for help for years. Hi, squirrel. What up, homie? See, and I gotta keep it down because I've got so much explosive energy, man. I got all the freaking explosive energy. I'm the one that's trying to keep people how to freaking process through that shit because I saw an article today. Suicide rate in veterans. What are we up 30-40% now? Yeah? Yeah? Why? Why? Because all the systems are made to hinder and not to help. All the systems are made to hinder and not to help. We're all the nonprofits for young people to help them with their parents, the baby boomers that everybody cared about, all the baby boomers when they were booming and making all the good stuff happen. Now that they're all freaking, incontinent and demented and sad, nobody wants to deal with them. I'm like, we're all the people, where's all those, it's like, okay, my notes. So, I'm gonna research more on the Protestant Reformation period because that's what's happening. People are like, no, God is not a hateful God. God is not spiteful. So when you live we live by these systems that are perpetuating all these things, to create just hurt and pain. Thank God for the connections that I've made about the the relationships. I mean, the man that I talked to today, it's like I've known him for 20 years. He's seen me in my worst and my best, and all that, and and he can't get. He's like, it's weird. You can't. Because to my brother, I say I can't get people to call me back to other people, and they're like, yeah, right, whatever. I'm like, dude, you're a freaking lawyer. You're a boss. People, if they don't call you back, they get in trouble. There's consequences. What is my consequence? And then it's like and then if I'm too adamant, then I'm too bothersome, and then people get fucking annoyed, and then they don't want to deal with you because you're annoying. So it's like, I wonder how I'm supposed to act with said motherfucker today based on how they feel. There ain't no standards. There used to be a time, it seems like, I think that people were good to each other, and the people aren't even good to each other anymore. No. People aren't even, they're not. Nope, because money matters more than people. All that matters is third quarter, because look at all the people with all the money. That's all that matters is money, 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 and fuck the people, and fuck the spirits, and fuck God, and blah, 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 because all the money matter. So, I appreciate Nada Shah for reminding me about that. It's like, yeah, people are coming into their own higher power. People have no choice, man. It's the new earth. It's the old earth. But the old Earth was covered up by this new order freaking horse shit. This idea of let's just control everyone. And then we'll eat their children. And then we'll, put them in all the kids in the tunnels and shit like that. That could, there by the grace of God to go I. That could have been me. It could have been me. The stories that I have, that now, and that's what they try to do. But see, the thing of it is I have accounts. It's like you can discount that. Okay, you can say that story didn't happen. Okay, but let's see all these other stories where there's verifiable proof. because I've always kept receipts. I've always taken pictures, and then I talk about everything. So if I'm sure, but there's people in junior high that I went to school that I'm still friends with on Facebook. I'll be like, hey, remember when I brought those sodas and sold them for 50 cents? Yeah. Yeah. Yep. So, I don't know. Whatever. See, that's the thing is today when I got that knowing to look up spiritual warfare, because I'm like, man, this stuff, I'm like, man, I know God's got me, but I'm like, I was in so much fear. I was just like tears streaming down my face. I said, Mom, you understand how conflicting this is for me? Because I know that I have my faith in God and God's got me. I said, but I still am feeling all this fear, and I can't even not cry right now because I'm so freaking veiled. But it's just like, this ain't all mine, it's that stuff that people want, because they want to ruin, people want to ruin spirits. Like, they've been trying to ruin my life. People have been trying to take my life my whole life. They've been trying to freaking make me angry, and I lived in anger for years and years and years. Lived in anger. People just like to stop and freaking let their dog shit on the freaking little place right there, and then they don't pick it up, and then it's so weird. And I watch people do it all day. And if I went out and I was like, hey, you forgot something, some shit your dog just left, and they're like, what, what, huh? And I'm the asshole. But it's like, all day it's unbelievable. Just people are lazy. People have no freaking self-respect, so they don't give a shit about anybody else, and you don't give a shit about anybody. Well, I guess might as well just pop a bunch of pills, drink a bunch of booze, and just try and fuck whatever you can, because, you perpetuate that Luciferian lifestyle, because, I guess cleaning up after your dog's shit is just too close to glory? I don't freaking know, man. It's like, I always live by rules of, like, you make things better. You try and leave things better than you find it. When you come into a place, if it's untidy, you clean it up. If somebody needs help with something, you help them do it. And all this, and now it's just like 3/4 of society is just watching, the cracks of society get what, and bottom line is, God's got it. I mean, I could quit doing videos right now and just be done with videos forever, just because God's got it. But I do these talks because I share my experiences, because I haven't always acted in my faith. Now I'm acting more in my faith than I ever have, And I encourage other people to find your faith, to find your God, to find your source, and to pray your freaking ass off, man. I freaking weird kid chant prayed freaking all day, just the serenity prayer, just whatever I could do not to freaking think about tomorrow or worry about shit that, I use the past as history as to what I don't want to be a part of anymore, because so very few people from my past are in my present. Based on my own behavior too. I know I burn bridges. I do that shit on purpose. And then I always feel bad, see? Because with all this shit that has happened to me in my life, I have never not forgiven somebody. And so I think that even if I'm an asshole to somebody, they're going to forgive me. And that is arrogant of me to think. People don't have to forgive me. They don't have to. They can hate me forever. That's their hate. Forgive those who trespass against those who trespass against them, That's why I'm trying to live a better way today. It's because I don't want to freaking hurt people. And I know that hurt people, like when I get mad, I get results. When I freaking flip out and I'm grabbing the freaking, and I'm slamming shit against the wall, because I don't know what else to do with it. But then what happens is you grow up and you have this combustion, and it's like, go dance it out, because you can't do this because this ain't your wall. You can't take your anger and you can't put it on other shit because it ain't yours. It's not theirs. Nobody ever should have to pick up our anger. But when people don't have ways to get rid of their anger or to cope with their anger, to even keep their anger away because they're just constantly shrouded in fear. This mask shit, it's horse shit. Stop fucking wearing masks. Stop it. Open stuff up that people know it's horse shit. Oh, and you know what's funny? I've made talks about this before. Look at the people who are profiting from all this. Chromebooks, because all the schools are buying Chromebooks to keep them uniform so all the kids can get Chromebooks to keep it all the same. And it's all Chromebooks. And guess what? That's cool. I thought, that's cool. You know, I called, you know, I was like, I thought I was going to hook up with an old time, and then, you know, things get away. And it's just like, you know, I got to not put in my head, Marge, they don't want to never talk to you. That's why I quit talking to people, because I get tired of having one-sided conversations, and then I give up. Marge, they don't want to know you. Oh, okay. All right. So, what was I just saying? What was I going to look up? What was I looking up? I have love for the man, what's his name, Paul Romano, at Pockets of the Future. I listened to his talk. I was just listening to his talk called How Many People Do You Have in Life That You Can Truly Trust? You know? And that's the thing. It's like, that's what I'm trying to be. Because so many people don't have people they can trust. That's why I try to be accountable. That's why I try to be on time with my, you know, it's like, I'm trying to, trying too hard. What was I was on a roll and then I got sidetracked. God, it's such a pretty... Today, when I was driving back from the market, I had I come across the back way, across by the airport, over on Turner, between Turner and like the industrial area. I always like to go sideways and stuff. I don't like traffics and shit like that. So I'll go the long way if it's slower and casual, you know. Grandpa used to do that. I learned it from him. So it's just like, take it, you know, no hurry. So I was coming back and I was looking around. I almost felt compelled to pull over, but I was kind of in a time constraint because I had a phone call I had to take at around a certain time. So I was trying not to dawdle too much. And so, but I was looking around, and like there's no smoke from fires. So the fire's out, because when I look at the news, all it says is, you know, you saw all this shit for fire stuff, but I never saw anything in the news about how the fires were out. You know, it's just like they never tell you when the good news is they always tell you mad. And I'm like, oh, that's right, because they're just trying to make everybody freaked out about everything. Because see, what happens is your endocrine system, everybody's going to get more jumpy and just twitchity, and you know, and then they give everybody guns, and then what do you think when a bunch of freaking people that don't know how to contain your emotion? Well, look what happens, you know. So, but you have a lot of people that are, you know how to calm their and you know what I was upset about today is that I got caught up, is that I let my brother push my buttons. I still let him push my buttons, and so I'm like, what? I can't not, you know, because I mean, I did hold my tongue because I didn't say a lot of things I wanted to say, but I'm just like, I could see the tactical verbiage that people do when they put you in positions, you know, they put you in positions and they belittle you and gaslight you. I mean, I'm just like, dude, you are you don't even know you're a textbook, dude. You don't even know you're a textbook. But it's like, you know, I can't even talk about this stuff, man. I can't. It's just, this is why I wish I had friends in real life. So I could just freaking just be like, isn't this some shit? And just be like, and my friends, see, they were always the kind of been like, Marge, this is your place in it. Don't you understand? Do you see that? But like, you know what? I do see that. I do see that. I do see how I'm wrong there. And let me think on this, and then I'll come back, you know, and process stuff like that. That's why I talk to myself, to nobody when in a chat, because of freaking, this is how people are supposed to hash things out with people. It's when one person connects to another person, that is when the healing begins and the problems are solved. But if you have people that are just repeating the same dialogue that they've always repeated, you ain't living in the present. And so that's why you gotta cut away freaking shit that no longer serves you, man. It freaking bums me out because it's like, dude, I just got one person left, man, in real life, but I don't want to whine and complain. I'm not gonna whine and complain because so soon things are gonna open up. Soon things are gonna start going in my way, and then I don't want to look back at this period, be like, Marge, all you should, if you just would have talked about your faith being as big as you say it is, then you wouldn't have to go back and be reminded about how you didn't live in it, you know. So, it's just a freaking hard day for me, man. I cry, just emotions, feelings, man. And then I gotta keep that away from mom because she don't need it. She don't need it. She don't need to pick up. She don't need to worry about me. And I was just like, I can't even say, yeah, Mom, Jerry wanted me to get rid of a couple dogs. Her little face would shrivel up and she'd start crying. Well, no, you're not. They're our family. You gotta keep them all together, And I'm just like, no, Mom. The neighbors are looking at my fence solution. I put a pole in to help anchor the fence, I guess. I don't know. Anyway. Hi, Frangine. No, more flowers, thank you. Well, yeah, I don't know. I don't know a lot. He's freaking been in the Army, freaking reserves or the National Guard, one of those poser freaking wussy ones, where you can give them your time when you feel like it. It's the ultimate bros club, since 1989. So that's how many decades of being freaking getting never to freaking swing your dick whatever way you want, and then people got to do it because of your rank. But see, I was in the military full time, so I know what most of those fucking dirtbag, scumbag, freaking brass are and what they do, and they're nasty, and I know who the shadow ones are. I know who the bad guys are. Yeah, he's a real piece of work, all right. And then lawyering, because see, he told me years ago to just put Mom in a home. But and he said to me the other day, how long do you think she's gonna live? That's what he asked me. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with this? I just like, well, how would you like it if I asked you how long you think Helly's gonna live, your daughter? I'm like, we don't talk like that. We're just blessed to have every day that we have together in life. What the fuck? But hey, oh boy, he's the one who's making fucking 6 figures working from home. Fucking. Praise God, Jesus. Come on in, buddy. Because I can't hang on to that anger, man. I can't hang on to that anger, man. Makes me want to hit things. Makes me want to hit people. I mean, it makes me really want to go. I mean, I've been training my whole life. I'm left and right, yeah. So what do I need to get in a ring with somebody? Is that what I need to do? Get a purse quick? 46-year-old. What's my weight class? Is that what I need to do? Do I need to fight for my freedom? Maybe someone like, because President called. He hasn't ever called me to ask how Mom's doing, but he called, oh boy, after he won the freaking purse, the title. Maybe I need to have a DNA test so the government knows who I am. They could all put me in their database, and maybe they'll see as somebody that, could add a lot of good to this world if I'm recognized. But you gotta get through the shadow shit, and that means people have to get through their shit. People have to start healing themselves, because they're never gonna freaking recognize anything good out there unless they fix the broke within, which is inside of them. I'm trying. I honestly don't know how much One day at a time, man. Because I can't even think too far out than this week right now. I'm hanging on. Hanging on. So, anyway, I think that's about all I got for now. I hope there's some lives going on tonight. I know that tiny dog guy, but I couldn't get into what he was talking about. He was going through some CIA documents and they were deciphering shit. I'm just like, nah, I couldn't find the spirit in it. I made a comment asking, I said something like, but I was like, is God trending over Satan yet? And somebody said, what, third eye? And that was it, because freaking the other day, Satan was trending on Twitter. And I was like, that's funny, God's never trended on, because I used to love those movies when I was a little girl. Oh God, the Oh God with George Burns, So I've always been looking for the demons and the angels in every situation. And then I every person I meet, I'm trying to figure out who rules them, what God they serve. If they're serving the darkness or the shadow. And there's so many people that act like they're living for the light, and they just aren't. No. It's just another one of the stories that I don't buy. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. I'm not picking up what you're putting down. Just because people say words don't make them true. Get with the program. Earlier, what did I talk? Oh, earlier I was talking about how I'm not a programmer. I don't like programming. I don't like, even when I was trying to decide on a career, and I decided on IT. I'm like, let's see. I'm not going to go into AI or robotics because the egos in those fields are fucking annoying and I can't stand them, so I don't want to be involved in that. So I'm like, service desk, I can do it anywhere. Help support, desktop support, and you know all the operating systems. I know cabling, networking, all that. But the thing of it is like, but I never, like, the programmers were just so weird. They're so weird to me. They're just, and they're all, a lot of them like dirty and like freaking just lived on Mountain Dew and freaking pouring for days and all that nasty, lonely guy stuff. Blech. I didn't even want to touch their keyboards. I'd wear rubber gloves. Blech. Or I'd freaking Clorox wipe the shit out of it. Just, people are freaking filthy, man. No wonder all this Rona's killing the already sick people and the already terminal people. So fucking over the mask bullshit and whatever. Fucking stupid. Ignorance is not bliss. It's just ignorance. So, what was I gonna ask? What am I trying? I'm tired. My memories, my brain juice is not firing. I'm tired. I'm ready to just go be nothing and do nothing and think of nothing right now. And just be. Might listen to some, when I get worked up, like how I was today, I like to listen to Matilda O'Donnell McElroy's talk. They do the transcripts of they talk about the Isbies and stuff, about the little bean that they found, one of them that they found at Roswell, and it's like, dude, this is the storyline that is still playing out, but people are just figuring it out, Slave or freedom. That's either people are for freedom for everybody, or then there's people that think that they're, like what they got is theirs and might is right, and all that misogynistic control stuff that they said for years and years. It ain't true. It's all lies. So people are coming back into they're finding their God. They're just, we can't all be happy because it's not all going to be God, our same God. They're not going to, people are finding that Lucifer is the way for them. And I'm just like, fucking man. It's always been like that for them. They just now are living it out loud. But there's still plenty of them that are going to keep that shit shrouded in secret. So, what do? You just try to gotta keep chill. See, that's why I've had so much post-traumatic stress in my life that now it's like my endocrine system, it takes a lot more for me to hold back. I don't hurt people. I don't hurt people. I don't hurt. Yeah, I don't. It's not my vibe, you know. I don't even like hurting people's. I don't even like saying things that hurt people's feelings. I still got my Scorpio moon, so just because I don't like it doesn't mean I'm not gonna do it. Just doesn't mean, and it doesn't mean that I'm not really good at it either. Because the way I look at it is, I look at it as self-defense. And I got to come up with, and that's ego stuff. So I got to come up with the guy, and just like, you got to let people yield, Marge. You know, you got to allow. I don't have the idea. I don't have all the answers for everything. That's why I'm trying to build a community. So, anyway, that's about all I got for now. Hope you have a rowdy evening. Peace.